Well, strap in for the full in-depth discussion of the movie Gran Turismo on the Brandon and Ryan Hour. I'm Brandon.
And I'm Ryan. So Gran Turismo is the new movie that was released in August 2023 about a young kid from England. Well, a young adult from England who loves playing racing video games and becomes a race car driver.
That's crazy.
It is crazy. And apparently it's based on real life events or based on a true story.
Well, isn't that cool? Does that mean we can play video games and become race car drivers?
I don't think so.
Oh, dang it.
But you can always give it a shot if you want to.
I'm going to play Mortal Kombat. And become a professional cage fighter.
I don't feel like the skills of doing this transfer to punching and kicking, but all right.
Gotta have dreams, Ryan. You gotta have dreams.
I mean, you do have to have dreams. That is correct. You can dream all you like.
Cool. I'm gonna go buy a whole bunch of video games. Alrighty. Well, if you have seen the movie, then we're not going to ruin anything for you. But if you haven't, we're going to tell you everything that happened in the movie, probably. If you don't want to hear everything that happened in the movie, there's a spoiler-free review. There should be a link down in the description. If not, my bad, I forgot. All right, well, stick around and let us know what you thought about the movie and if you think Ryan's dumb or not.
Yeah, that would be nice to know if people think I'm dumb. So do that.
So what did you think about the movie?
Overall, I thought it was a solid movie. I liked the messaging, I guess. The person who comes from nothing and is able to overcome insurmountable odds to grow and develop into what they want to be. It's an uplifting story, I guess.
Okay, yeah.
So I enjoyed the story. I thought it was well acted. I enjoyed the actors in the movie. I didn't think anybody was particularly weak, or I wasn't taken out of the movie because of anybody's portrayal of the characters. The CG in this was well used and well done, and the moments of levity or comedy I felt like were expertly placed, and really just brought the film up each time they made jokes. So,
well,
what did you think?
Then. I thought it was a really good movie. I was a little hesitant going into it because not a big fan of the video game. Played it growing up when it kind of first came out during those first.
Yeah, where you just used a controller, not a.
Yeah, we didn't have
not a racing wheel. Yeah,
and pedals and shifters and cool seats and detachable steering wheel. We didn't have none of that. We didn't have flat screen TVs. It was the dark ages.
It was the dark ages for
late 1900s. Okay, people.
Yep. How far we have come.
Yeah. It'd probably be more fun to play it now with the whole setup, but that setup can't be cheap.
I wouldn't think so. Not at all.
So anyway, yeah. So didn't have a whole lot of knowledge about the game. I'd never heard about this story before. So I was actually kind of surprised at the story itself and the quality of the movie in general. It was very well written, directed, acted. A pluses across the board on that. The story itself, I don't know if I call it an underdog story. I don't know if I'd call it an underdog story.
Okay.
It's a good story. It's about being somebody being brought up from their circumstances to do something that they, you know, had the dream to do for, I guess, presumably most of his life. I think he said since he was, like 5 or something, he wanted to be a race car driver.
Yeah, that's what they said in the movie since he was like 5 or 6.
Yeah. So I like the way the story was, I guess, like laid out. Either
Okay.
better term for it. Like they were just like bam, 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 like going from one thing to the next, to the next, to the next. They didn't like put in a bunch of filler stuff to waste time and give you information about characters that were irrelevant to the story. It was just, mom, dad, brother, him. He's basically a college dropout
Mm-hmm.
working at a
Clothing store.
clothing store,
Mm-hmm.
and all he wants to do is play his video game and drive a race car. But he doesn't seem to have any kind of like plan to get to be
Right.
a race car driver.
Yeah.
So his dad is like an ex or a former football / soccer player for some, I don't know, team. Doesn't
Yeah.
really say that he was like a star, but that he played on a professional team.
Right.
And he's disappointed in his son's dream to play video games, which is not completely. I mean, like sometimes I'm on his side about
Yeah, his dream
it,
wasn't to
but
play video games. His dream was to be an actual race car driver, but he was
right.
using video games to get there
And from his
and
dad's
thinking,
perspective, all he's seeing is him playing video games
right.
and not driving real cars.
Yep.
So
And not realizing how expensive racing is. Because there's no way working a job where you're making $20,000-$30,000 a year, you're going to become a race car driver by yourself.
yeah, you're not gonna set up your own team. You got to get a team.
You have to have millions of dollars to invest in a racing team.
Well,
So
you don't have to. You could have
right
to
to
get on a
be
team.
to get on a team though to have a team is $1 million investment or millions of dollars investment.
Yeah, but the driver isn't the owner of the team.
I understand that. That's not what I'm
Okay.
saying. I'm saying it
Well,
costs money
it also
to
costs
participate
money
in this
to
sport.
start a business, and you don't start a business. You work at one. What you're saying is irrelevant. It doesn't matter.
Right, but that was one of his dad's points was it's
But it,
expensive and you ain't
right,
got the money to do it.
right, which was
And
irrelevant.
his no, it's actually not because his dad was saying, "Hey, I played a lot of amateur soccer before I got on the team. You can't afford to be an amateur driver and work your way up."
It's still irrelevant.
It's not irrelevant from the dad's point of view. Like that completely makes sense to what the dad was saying.
It
Okay, whatever you say.
doesn't. Okay. Disagree to disagree.
Yeah, you can
I
definitely
don't
be
think it
wrong. That
matters.
is completely fine.
I mean, if you want to be wrong, I said comment if you think Ryan's wrong. Don't
That's not
comment
what
if
you
you think
said,
I'm
but
wrong.
okay. You said comment if you think Ryan is dumb, not
And
wrong.
wrong. Oh, I forgot. And wrong.
Anyway,
All right, moving on. So, yes. So it just gets started. Like Orlando Bloom goes to the headquarters, pitches the idea. Like he gets to the lobby, he's about to leave, and they're like, "Okay, go do it."
yeah,
So
if you
it's
can find
like,
someone to run the team,
yeah,
basically an engineer to be in charge of everything, then we'll go ahead and support you in this crazy, wacky marketing scheme that you have.
right. So like he gets a whole bunch of no's. He goes to a guy he doesn't want to ask, and that guy says no, but then he hates his team that he works for, so he's like, "Nah, screw this. This kid's a douchebag." That kid
Yeah.
was a douchebag.
100%. That's how they played him.
Yeah. I don't know if he's that big of a douchebag in real life, but Nicholas Kappa?
Kappa. Yep.
Kappa? Whatever.
Kappa
I don't know
Kappa.
you, guy, but the movie portrayed you like a douchebag. I'm sorry. um. So then he joins the team, and then they get 10 kids, 10 or 12.
I think it may have
I
been
don't
12 to
remember.
start with.
Yeah. So they do the race. They have the
Well, they do
big
a training camp where they get
yeah.
all of them, and then yeah, there's a race at the end with
That's not the race I was talking about. I was talking
oh
about the virtual race.
virtual race. Okay, okay.
Yeah. The qualifying virtual race. He wins that. They go to the camp, and like the camp lasts like 10 minutes of the movie.
Yeah,
From the
they're just
previews, it looked like it lasted a lot longer.
they were just barrel rolling straight through that. Just okay, let's go.
Yeah,
Montage.
that was like the first quarter, the first third of the movie was a montage, basically. It took me a minute to like realize that it was a montage, and I was like, okay, this isn't the story. This is just the montage.
This is
So
prelude leading up to the actual story
yeah.
that they're just getting through. Yep.
Um, the Jack Salter. I don't know. I think he carried the movie.
Yeah. So Jack Salter is played by David Harbour, and yeah, he was great in this role. He was a lot of the heart of the movie, for sure.
Yeah. Um. Oh, that's right. He was Santa
Yeah.
in Violent Night.
Uh huh. Which
Totally.
was the
I mean,
first movie that we reviewed on our channel.
it was.
It was. Yep.
Anyway, didn't recognize him without the white beard and the red jacket. And the murdering of the peoples.
Yeah.
All right, back to this movie. Um, yeah. So yeah, like I said, he was like the heart of the movie. I don't know. He really like built up the. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know how to explain my feelings.
Okay. I don't know what you're trying to say either. So
I don't know what I'm trying to
that's
say.
fantastic.
Yeah. It's like so he because okay, yeah. So like Orlando Bloom's character, Danny Moore, wasn't in it as much as I thought he was gonna be. And he seemed to not care as much about the kids.
Right. Yeah.
Kids keep calling them kids, but they're adults. Just young adults. Um but Jack like actually cared about him, didn't want him to die,
Right.
wanted them to succeed if they were able to succeed. But he was gonna, like he said in the one thing, he's like, I'm gonna try to make you fail. Or
Yeah.
basically is what he said.
Yeah. He said these people are here telling you that you can do it. I'm here to prove that you can't. Like
Right.
giving a motivation. Hey, this may be impossible for you, so I'm gonna actually push you and put you through the fire. So
Yeah. And so that like they know it's not summer camp.
right.
Yeah. So that would be really difficult. I don't know. I think it'd be really difficult to go from driving a virtual car to driving a real car at 150 miles an hour.
Yeah, for sure.
I'd like to give it a shot though. um so Jan barely wins um the Nissan boot camp thing.
Yeah.
But Danny did one of the other kid to win. because he had more of a camera presence and all that stuff for marketing
Mhm.
purposes.
Right.
Um, which I don't know. I don't know if any of that part is true or not, but
Well,
it's kind of hard to
apparently,
tell.
yeah, apparently in real life there were 80 people who went to this driving camp, and
Okay.
he didn't place first. He was one of the top like 5 or 6, or I don't remember what I
Okay.
actually read. But yeah, so he was part of a team of people who passed, and
Okay.
all of them started racing.
Okay. That seems more realistic. They're like, why would you put all your eggs in one basket
Yeah,
for something like this, where they're putting millions and millions and millions of dollars into things like that? You take 80 people, like, you don't you can't just take 80 people and be like, hey, you're going to come stay at our place and then we're going to train you and then you're going to leave if you fail and you're
yeah.
not going to get anything for it. uh, um, dang it. I forgot what I was going to say. Anyway, okay, so he wins. All right, so that
In the movie,
was
he wins.
editorializing. Yeah, editorializing in the movie.
Hmm.
Okay. So then he goes to actually race. Um, and then the Nicholas guy like wrecks him, which is kind of funny. You can't I mean, you can't win on your first outing. You're gonna get wrecked. Somebody's gonna mess you up. Like they really make you feel for him though. You're just like, wait, they're running into him on the track. They can't do that. And you're like,
Yeah,
yeah, yeah, they can. I don't think there's any penalties involved in running into your opponents.
yeah. I don't know if there would be or not, but it's definitely dangerous. That's for sure.
Yeah, I think if you did it obviously intentionally, there might be some issues, but if you're rubbing fenders and stuff like that, there's probably not a
Yeah.
you know. Um. So I guess this is like where what I kind of liked about the movie is they put you in the car and they made you feel the race and you felt the tension of the race.
Hmm. Yeah.
Um, the crashes, like you just you felt like you were in the crash, like front row seat to the crash every
Yeah,
time
and
there
I mean
was
that's
one.
what all great sports movies do. They put you right in the middle of the action and make
Yeah.
you feel like you're there. So whether it's seeing somebody get tackled with the sound effects of helmets crashing or
Hmm.
whatever, versus this putting you in the car and you're seeing from a very close perspective what the crashes are like or what the tension is like. So that's just excellent filmmaking and storytelling.
Yeah. And like you were saying about the good use of the CGI when they would, like explode the car into its virtual pieces and did all
Hmm.
that kind of stuff. And then yeah, because they exploded the car and then they like transitioned to him driving in the
And
computer
it's
setup
yeah,
in
yep,
his house. And then the car came back together. I don't know, that was pretty cool.
yeah, I enjoyed that, and that was well done.
Um what else? I'm assuming most of the wrecks were probably CG.
Yeah, I would think so.
Yeah. Like the big wreck where he went airborne.
Hmm.
So did that actually happen? Did you read about that? Did that actually happen or
Yeah, so apparently that actually happened, but it happened 3 years into his racing. So the climax of the film is where he goes to Le Mans and drives that race with two other people on his team.
Mhm.
Apparently, he did that first, like the first season he raced, and then 3 years later is when he had that big wreck. So
Okay.
they they played with time to make a more compelling story.
Right, yeah, to make that comeback.
Yeah.
So did somebody actually die?
Oh, I have no idea. I didn't
Okay.
see that in what I read.
Okay. Because yeah, so what race? It was after he got his. He had to place third in the movie. He had to place third, at
Fourth.
least fourth
He had to place fourth to get his racing license. Yes.
racing license. Yeah. So and I guess he had like 5 or 6 races to do that, and he does that on the last race,
Mm-hmm.
and he gets all excited. And they, what was the track they were on?
Nürburgring is what it was called.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Nurburgring.
Yeah.
So it's a race in Germany somewhere. So
Yeah, so he's on that race, and I think he was in second, and he's trying to get up to first, and then his car just goes airborne and at like 200 miles an hour, doing all these
hmm
flips. Um, it was kind of crazy. Like watching it, you're like, man, you're feeling the tension of him getting back into the lead,
hmm
and then all of a sudden you're like, wait a minute,
Wait,
why
what
is
just
this
happened?
car in the air?
Yeah. And just seeing everybody's reaction, all the actors' reaction when it happened was
Yeah.
fantastic. So, like, seeing David Harbour's character react was great, and then it cuts to his mom and dad watching on the TV,
Hmm.
and they're both having very different reactions to it. Like, I think they're kind of emoting the same emotion, but in different ways.
Oh, the parents?
Yes.
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
So I thought that was very well done.
yeah. I thought so too. Um, Crash was pretty gnarly.
hmm
But so in that crash, uh, in the movie, someone dies. But that crash gives him like something else in the movie to overcome,
To overcome. Yep.
as opposed to just overcoming nobody becoming a race car driver.
Yeah, and it also provided a way for him to connect with David Harbour's character,
Yeah,
Jack,
Salter.
because
Yeah.
he had just experienced something similar. He had experienced a crash where one of the drivers died,
Hmm.
and in the movie, Jan's character is involved in a crash where
A
a
spectator dies.
civilian or a spectator dies. Right.
Civilian. They're all
Um,
civilians.
right. Like I was thinking, what is the term here? Like, but yeah, spectator is the word that I was looking for,
Dang
not civilian.
civilians getting in our racetrack.
But yeah, so
Oh,
that was a nice bonding thing for them to get to, and for Jan to have to overcome as well.
yeah. And I mean that'd be pretty tough to
Oh, for
overcome.
sure.
It'd be weird. That would take, but I don't know whether or not that actually happened in the real life or not. Like getting over a crash would be difficult, especially like a crash that's serious would be difficult. But
A
then like
crash at almost 200 miles an hour. Yeah,
yeah, but then like somebody died because of it. That would take some time to get over.
for sure.
And they really like brought that into the movie well.
hmm
Didn't seem ham fisted or anything like that. It just seemed like you know part of the
Yeah,
sequence of events. And Jan's character Archie, or yeah, Jan is the character. Archie, the
right.
actor, played that really well.
Just the grief and what he was going through.
Yeah,
Very believable. Very well executed.
I don't, I don't know if it's just for the movie or not, but the relationship that he had with everybody seemed weird because like it didn't seem like he talked to his parents and his brother that much after he went off into the driving school,
Right.
and um, it seemed like he waited like days to let his parents know that he was. I guess they probably knew he wasn't dead,
Yeah.
but
Well, they
waited to
said,
call
or
him.
when he was talking to his mom said we had to call the hospital to find out you were released.
Yeah,
So, like, he's not communicating with them at all at this point.
seems weird, especially his mom, because his dad was the one who was being weird to him about his dreams.
Okay. Yeah.
Um, but I don't know. That may have not matched up with reality.
Yeah, I mean the wreck happened 3 years after he started racing.
Well, I just meant like, but the rest of it,
So
like, it didn't seem like he talked to his parents much throughout the whole movie after he
okay, yeah, in the movie for sure he kind of drifted away and was focusing on what he was doing. So
I don't know. I don't know. I guess, but I mean,
okay,
it's not like he's racing cars 12 hours a day, 7 days a week.
right,
So, and he's not the mechanic. He's not doing any of that kind of stuff. So, like, he's got some downtime to make some phone calls. What about the scene where he ran from the cops at the beginning? Was that real?
I have no idea, but that was
Okay,
hilarious. I
that
loved
was
that
pretty
scene.
pretty funny.
And that's another place where the CG was incredibly well done because like he gets away and it pops up the
Oh
achievements,
yeah,
and I just busted out laughing at the achievements.
yeah. I was like, wait a minute, this isn't Need for Speed. You can't be doing that. You can't be saying you escaped the cops. It's
Yeah,
not. I played a lot of Need for Speed. I didn't play much Gran Turismo, but that
I
was definitely an
still
achievement I liked to do
I
in the
still
game.
really enjoyed that. Yeah,
Yeah, it's like that's pretty good. And then with his brother, he was like, "If you say I'm the better driver, I'll tell Dad this is my fault."
yeah,
That was pretty good.
that was good.
Okay, so um, okay, yeah. So then after his wreck, Jack takes him out to the track, and they bond, and he tells him why he's not racing anymore, and um, basically he needs to not let this
Get
be the
back on the
defining moment in
saddle.
his life.
Yeah,
Yeah, especially after everything he's achieved. Like, you don't want to go out and having that be your legacy.
right. And it
So, I
said if
mean,
you
that's
still want to race, you have to start doing it now. Otherwise, you'll never do it again.
right. Yeah, don't wait. Don't put it off. Yeah. Which is good advice for anybody.
Yep.
If you want to do something,
If you
don't
get
put it
knocked
off.
down, you got to get back up. That's exactly how it works.
Okay. Um uh so that's I guess I don't know. One of the main things that made this movie really good was them bringing in the emotionality into it,
Hmm.
not just being sterile and just about the driving the cars and all that stuff. Um, which I feel like a lot of movies don't do anymore. It's like
Okay.
a lot of movies just seem like one trick ponies. Like, this is race car driving is the main part of the movie. That's all we care about. Everything else just seems incidental to the movie.
Okay.
But here, like the character relationships and um, the the personal development seems like a really big part of the movie.
Right. For sure.
Um, and then mixed in with all the cool race car stuff makes it a really good movie.
Yep.
Um, the Le Mans race.
Yeah. 24 hours of driving. A 24-hour
The
race.
only
That's got to be
yeah,
tough.
the only thing I know about that race is because of oh, what's the movie
Ford
with
versus Ferrari.
Ford versus Ferrari. Um, I was like, oh hey, that's from that movie. I know what that is.
All right.
um, but in Ford versus Ferrari, there were only two drivers. I thought there were only 2
Okay.
drivers per car.
There could have been. I have no idea. I don't remember how many drivers there were in that movie.
Yeah. I don't know, it was, a long time ago, so maybe they didn't care that the drivers didn't have much sleep.
Maybe.
But I thought it was funny that they kind of did the same thing. Like, I don't know, it may just be the area and it just happens, but like, it's nice and sunshiny, and then when it gets dark, sometime in the night, a big thunderstorm comes through, and
Yeah.
then they have to drive 200 miles an hour in the rain. The same thing happened in Ford versus Ferrari.
Mm-hmm.
So it's either like something can happen to that region, just the weather, or it's just to build suspense and make the movie, a little more um, cinematic, add a lot more drama. I don't know if I could drive a car in the rain at 200 miles an hour.
Yeah, I wouldn't want to. I wouldn't want to try that.
I mean, they
But
got all kinds of safety gear, but still.
still, going 200 miles an hour or even 150 on wet roads, anything can happen. So,
Like, they're going through curves and turns at, high rates of speed.
mm-hmm.
They're not going 20 miles an hour on these curves.
Right.
Um,
Yeah. So they go to the Le Mans race, and in the movie they call up two people who didn't make the cut, but
yeah,
from
the second
the
and third place guy.
yeah. So the two people who didn't make the cut, but they were like, hey, they're still racing amateur league right now. So
Yeah.
they've kept in shape and they still know what they're doing. We can just bring these other two guys in.
Yeah. Okay, I
Yeah.
guess.
And it seemed like it was a kind of a rushed decision. There was no, hey, we've got like 3 months to train and get you guys working together. It was just, hey, we need some people. We'll just call up these guys that we used to
Yeah.
know.
They made it seem like the Le Mans was like in 2 weeks.
Yeah.
And they're like, oh, well, what about those other two guys that lost? Can we get them?
Right.
What are they doing? They doing anything? Um, yeah, it seemed very rushed. I'm assuming though in real life there was plenty of time for them to like. Well, no, because that was before the race, so he didn't need to like recover,
Right.
get his nerve back.
Yeah.
Okay, and yeah, they probably weren't like, we don't have anybody. They had
Right.
people.
Because they had a team of people who made it
Yeah,
out of the camp and were racing for them.
yeah.
So
Is normally don't the teams have like normally from what I know about race car driving, which is not much, but normally you have a team, but they have like a couple of drivers per team, so they're
I would
racing.
think so. But yeah, I don't know that much about actual race car driving.
Yeah, I don't know. Anyway, doesn't really matter. Still a cool movie.
Yep.
Man, there was something I was gonna bring up, and I just cannot remember anymore. Hmm. Anything you wanted to bring up?
No, I mean it was overall a good movie. Had a really satisfying ending, and
Yeah, yeah. I don't know. I it's they call it an underdog story, but I don't know if it is actually an underdog story.
well, I mean,
It's more like a Cinderella story
all right.
because Cinderella didn't have to do much. She just had to be there, not screw it up.
I mean, this guy had to do a whole lot, but
Right, but he just had to be there and not screw it up.
okay.
So he
I guess I can
basically
see
won
your
a
point.
lottery ticket,
Yeah.
and he just had to have talent and ability to back it up.
Right.
And he ended up being able to have that or cultivate it through training. Um, yeah, so I don't know. It's like underdog. I don't know. I don't know. I like the
Yeah,
term
I don't
underdog.
know if it's an actual underdog story or if it's just a story of growth, because that's what we see. We see somebody who was naturally gifted at a. They called it sim racing, simulation racing,
Yeah,
but somebody who had some natural talent for that, who had perfected his talent over years, and
right.
then was able to transfer those skills into actual driving, and had the will and passion to keep keep going. So it
Yeah,
was more of a character story than an underdog story.
yeah. And then you kind of see the contrast from how he started when he was like at the beginning of the movie, super confident
Hmm.
in his sim racing ability,
Right.
and then he gets in a real car and he's less confident. Um, in the movie, he almost doesn't make the cut. Um, and he seems timid and he's not. Um, what did what did Jack Salter keep telling people to do? Um, commit.
Yes.
He keeps saying you got to commit.
Yeah.
He didn't seem like at, assuming that's what they were going for. Is he didn't seem like he was able to commit,
Hmm.
but then he finally got over those
Whatever
hurdles and was
fears
able
or
to
yeah.
was able to just do it and not have that fear.
Yeah.
And they didn't make it seem like he was necessarily afraid of driving. um they made it seem mental, as like
Yeah.
a fear of failure, and also kind of like a fear of success, maybe.
I didn't get that it was a fear of success. I got that it was he had a fear of failing and having to go back and tell people you were right, I couldn't do this.
Yeah. Okay.
Yep. That's that's what I picked up.
But then at the end of the movie, he's overcome, you know, his parents, the cops, the training, losing races, getting his license, getting in a wreck, somebody dying, overcoming the wreck, all these hurdles that he's overcome, and how he's not a completely different person at the end of the movie, but you can see the
The
growth.
character arc. Right.
Yeah. Um, I thought it was really cool. Like at the end of the movie, they said that the actual guy,
The actual
Jan,
Jan was the stunt driver for
yeah,
the movie. Yeah.
yeah,
That's got to be pretty
or
cool.
yeah, I thought that I was like that'd be pretty cool. A couple other things. That's what I was going to talk about. A couple other things that I liked about this movie is it's weird, but all of the product placement and the sponsors.
Okay.
I don't know why, but nobody does that anymore. Like you don't watch a movie and there's just like a strategically placed Pepsi can for no reason in a movie, right?
I mean, there is, but a lot of times they play into it too much.
Yeah, I get like yeah, but
Like
it's
this
usually not
product
in movies
placement,
anymore.
yeah, this product placement made sense for the movie itself, though.
Yeah, like in the 90s and stuff, the product placement would be vending machines. You'd see Pepsi vending machines or Coke vending machines,
Yeah.
right? Like
Okay.
that was the same thing here. You're just seeing all the different sponsors, probably for the real tracks and stuff. You got it?
Yeah, I got it. I'm good. Thanks.
Okay. You've seen all the sponsors and stuff. It's everywhere. It's on the helmets. It's on it's like race car driving actually is.
Right.
So I thought that was cool, and they didn't use fake made up stuff. They used real sponsors. I saw a Asus
Asus
guy.
on the yeah.
Um,
So there was
running.
Asus, there was PlayStation, Sony was all over the place. Yeah,
Yeah, Nissan,
Nissan obviously.
everybody, like Audi. I don't know. You could name them all. There's tons of different sponsorships going on. I thought that was kind of cool because, like I said, you don't see it done well anymore unless it's
Yeah, it's definitely not done well in
they're
most
like,
movies
oh
now.
yeah. Oh dang it! I forgot the other thing.
Okay. What was the other thing you were thinking of?
I don't remember.
Well,
Um, let's
I don't
see.
know what
I
it was
talked
either.
about him being his own stunt car driver, which would be really cool.
Yeah.
Oh, that's what it was. The helmets. The helmets was really annoying me,
Okay.
and I don't know why. Well, I know why, but I don't know why they did it. Every time you see someone in a helmet, it's got the visor. The visor's up
Uh huh.
every single time, and I'm like,
Yeah,
why
they
do
never
you
put the visor down. I didn't
never
understand
put the
that either.
visors down? And they never took the visors off the helmet. They're like, oh well, we can't take it off the helmet, but we also need it to be up so that we can see this much of the actors' faces.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, okay, I guess. I don't know. It's just after a while, I was like, oh, he's got his helmet visor up. It's just funny after a while, but
Okay. Yeah, I
first few
noticed that
times it
too.
definitely annoyed me.
It didn't irritate me, but I noticed it for sure.
Yeah, I mean, it wasn't like I was like, that's stupid. Now I'm out of the movie, but like, it was just like, why? Why is everybody's helmet visor? And who? What was that a Lamborghini? Who drives a gold Lamborghini? Like that's a douchebag.
Oh, for sure. I mean, all of his race cars were gold too, though. So
Yeah,
yeah.
like all the cars, bright shiny gold. You're like, dude, you do
Like
you
tone it down just a
understand?
little bit. Stop being so ostentatious. Yeah.
Yeah, like a screaming douche a lot. And I mean that's definitely it definitely played into the rivalry. They wanted the audience to be like this guy's straight up douche.
Yeah, for sure.
Um which is just hilarious. Because now every time I see this guy, has he been in anything else?
I don't recognize this actor at all, so uh,
Yeah, I don't. Yeah, I've never seen any of these other things he's been in that I can
yeah,
think of.
nope.
Hopefully, if I ever see him again, I won't be like, "Hey, that's the douche." Sorry, guy. Josh, what is Joshua? Joshua? I don't know. Anyway,
Josha Stardowski.
okay.
Stradowski. Yeah.
Oh, any final thoughts?
No, I mean overall, I really enjoyed this movie. It was a lot better than I thought it was going to be. Because
100% agree.
usually when there's video game movies, they ain't so good. But this one was very well executed. Um, it has a video game title, but I don't feel like it was a video game movie
Okay,
per
that's
se.
what I was gonna ask because I was gonna say this is probably the best video game movie I've ever seen, but
Hmm.
it's not a video game movie.
Right,
It's a movie with a video game title.
right.
But it's probably the best movie with a video game title that I've seen.
That is a fair point. Yes.
But people are probably gonna be like, "What about Super Mario?"
Yeah. Again, that wasn't a video game movie though. That was just them taking the characters. The new Mario movie. They just took the characters of Mario and put them in a new world. It wasn't a video game movie at all.
Yeah, but all the elements of the video game were there.
Okay. I just it didn't seem like a video game movie to me.
Well, what's a video game movie? Like, is Mortal Kombat a video game movie?
I'll have to get back to you on that. I'm gonna have to think this over.
What's a video game movie?
Huh.
If Mario is not a video game movie, what about the Super Mario Brothers from the 90s? Was that a video game movie?
I just told you I'll have to get back to you on this. I got to think about this and
Hmm.
reason through a response
Okay.
because
We'll have to do a video on video game movies or movies with video game titles.
yeah. And if that is something that you guys want to see, make sure to drop
No,
comments down
too
below.
bad. We're gonna do it anyway, even if you don't want to see it.
But anyway, drop comments
But
down
if you,
below to get the
yes,
engagement up so we know that you want it instead
well,
of,
and
hey,
let
we're
us
just
know
going to do
what
it
video
anyway.
game movies to talk about because there's probably too many to talk about.
Yeah.
So let us know what movies with video game titles we should talk about. There's probably a bunch.
Yeah.
So yeah, I really like the movie. I think people should go watch it. It's kind of the box office numbers seem kind of low, but maybe it's the time of the year because
I mean,
end of
school just
August.
started back. Yeah.
Yeah, so it's a summer movie, but it's like
At the end of summer.
it's an end of summer movie. So I don't know. It got delayed too, so that might have hurt it a little bit.
Okay.
And I think all the stuff with the writer's strike, they can't promote it, which seems stupid.
Yeah. Well, writers and actors are both on strike right now, so the actors can't go out and
Actors are
promote
on
it either.
strike.
Yeah, they're both.
Where?
Writers went on strike, and then like a month later, actors union went on strike also.
So this movie's really good, and you should go watch it. Yeah.
Yeah, it's definitely a great story. And on a scale of 1 to 10, I give it an 8.3. So it's definitely worth a watch. And if you need a movie to go watch on a Saturday, definitely suggest this one.
I don't know why you always watch movies on Saturday. You go watch this movie any day of the week. It's a good movie. I gave it an 8. I really liked it. It's got a lot of rewatch value, I think. So it's something, and it's PG-13, and I don't know. Other than like the crashes, I don't really see anything in the movie that even kids a little younger than that wouldn't be able to watch.
Yeah.
So definitely a good movie to take your kids to, take the family, go have a good time. Especially if they play the video game, they'll probably love the movie. Because then they'll be like, well, unless you don't want them to like have a weird dream about becoming a race car driver playing video games, that's definitely what this movie's gonna give them. Okay, well, give us a like if you enjoyed the video. Give us some comments on what we should review next, what you thought about what we thought about the movie, what you thought about the movie.
Yeah,
Follow
and
us
make
on
sure
Rumble,
to
Twitter.
subscribe as well, so that way you know when when our reviews get released.
I always forget this subscribing.
Yeah, and we are also on Rumble if that is your platform of choice, and on Twitter or X or whatever they're calling it as well.
It's Twitter. It's Twitter. At BRH Reviews. All right, with that, we'll see you guys next time. Later.